welcome back to my channel. I could not be more excited for today's video. Today we are starting a new project pan, and this one was created by one of my really good friends here on the space, Emily McKennis, who also created the graveyard project pan. And I have to say, I don't know if I have ever been more excited to start a project. So I'm gonna leave Emily's introduction. This project definitely has a lot of moving parts, and we all know I'm really bad at explaining things on this channel. Like when I have to explain how a project pan works, it's like my brain goes, what even are words? So Emily's introduction video will be down below, and she does such an amazing job at explaining this project. Much better than I would do at trying to explain this. I'll give little tidbits here, but I recommend going and watching Emily's introduction first so that you can kind of get the context on what this project is all about, and then come back, because otherwise you might be questioning how we're doing this. We'll see how I do at explaining. But if you guys are interested in seeing my introduction for the Deca Panning project pan, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I post tons of project pan videos, as well as I just love to chit chat about makeup over here. So if that's something that interests you, I would love if you'd subscribe before moving on. And other than that, let's just get into the video. So like I mentioned in the introduction, I will have Emily's introduction video down below, as well as a playlist of everyone else who is currently participating. I know that there's already over 30 participants, which is super exciting. And I've been catching, so I'm actually filming this the day that this is going up, but I've been catching a few people who are joining on Instagram as well, and I'm just so excited about this project. So I'm gonna be looking down at my phone, but essentially this project is based around a game board with prompts and obviously a deck of cards. I have probably 10 to 12 decks of cards at my house, but none like a full run of cards because we're not very clean in this household for very long. So I'm just gonna be using a deck of cards app on my phone to shuffle my cards and pick my prompts. This is a rolling style of project, and you start with five products, and there is a potential that you could have to roll or be working on more than 5 products at any given time throughout the course of this project. But starting with 5, it is rolling, and it is all based around this game board, which I will pop up a picture on the screen right now. So as you guys can see, there's a prompt that goes with every card in a deck, and we are playing with 1 joker. I don't know if I can adjust my deck on my app, but I might be playing with 2 jokers, which is great. Because if you select the joker, the product for a joker, like the whole idea around the joker card was this whole idea of "Are you joking me?" which is a product that you really don't want to pan. The example that Emily gave was like a pressed pigment, a loose glitter, a black eyeshadow. I think I've decided if I pull the joker, I'm gonna work on a MAC loose pigment, because that sounds like the worst experience in the world to pan. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't get a jack. Then as you can see, the ace, jack, queen, and king cards do not change at all throughout the course of this project. By the way, this project will run through December 20th, and we will be doing monthly updates. So if you pull an ace, you're working on a project graveyard project. As I said in the introduction, Emily also created the graveyard project pan. So if I select this product, I will choose a product that has been previously worked on in a separate project. For Jack, it is the whole collection roulette, so randomly generating a product to work on. Queen is a random color generator, so you can use a random color app, generate a color, and then choose a product that goes with that color, or that somehow like correlates to that color. And then the king is the oldest product, so that could be the oldest product in your collection or the oldest product in a specific category. And then as you can see, as we move on 2 through 10, there's a prompt for each card, number, and suit. Like I said, you guys, what are even words? And this game board will be shuffled every single month. So there will be new prompts every single month that correlate to the cards. So for example, this month, the 2 of hearts means you're working on something brand new, but when the deck is shuffled, the 2 of hearts could be something totally different. Every month we start with the same deck, so it's not like once you pulled a card, you set that card aside. That card then goes back into your deck and you shuffle your deck every single month to work on the prompts again, or to choose cards from the full, is it 53 with one joker? 53 card deck. So that's the whole idea of this project. I hope you guys are following. Again, I recommend just going and watching Emily's video first, but now that we have that out of the way, I am going to go to my deck of cards app and I am going to generate 5 cards. I'm actually very nervous because I feel like the prompts are going to be like, it's going to take some thought for picking these products out. Okay, so we're going to, I think just tap. Nope. Deck of cards. How do we do this? Shuffle, swipe. This isn't going too well. Not, oh, now I have an ad. Oh, here we go. Okay, tap anywhere to deal. So we get the 2 of spades. I'm going to just pull all 5 cards now and then we'll go to the game board. We get the 2 of spades, the 4 of diamonds, 6 of clubs, 8 of diamonds. I've gotten no jack, king, queen, etc. Interesting. Ace. Let's do card history. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I need 1 more card. 3 of hearts. Okay, all right, let's see what these correspond to. I'm scared.
Editing stuff here. So as I'm editing this, I realized that I must have written down that I got the 4 of spades as well as the 8 of spades rather than the 4 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds. So that was an accident and I didn't even realize it until editing, which is why if you're confused as to why I go for those prompts over the actual cards that I drew, I'm an idiot. Back to the video.
Okay, so we're gonna go in order that the cards were drawn. So at first we have the 2 of spades, which is an indie product. So a product from an indie brand. Next we have the 4 of diamonds, which is matches your shirt. Ooh, so I have like a pastel tie-dye pink and blue and cream shirt on. Okay. I think I might have an idea for this one. Next we have the 6 of clubs, which is something that I think reminds you of the summer because it says glowy winter, summer, or matte. So something maybe that I would wear typically in the summer. Okay. Then we have the 8 of diamonds, which is your something inspired by my favorite panner. And then finally we have the 3 of hearts, which is a pop culture item. Oh man. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to go pick out products for these. I gotta write that last one down. And who knows how long this is gonna take. My husband's out getting me coffee right now and I am so awkward when he's home. I'm so awkward when I film, so I gotta be quick so that he doesn't have to listen to me film. All right, you guys, we're back and I'm actually really excited / nervous. I have hair in my eyelash. Did I get that? No, there we go, okay. Oh my gosh. I am really excited, but also nervous about the products that I've selected for this project. This definitely took me the longest it has ever taken me to choose my products for a project. Just thinking about like even like my roulette pin collab prompts. Some of these were difficult. So let's start with the product that reminds me of summer, makes me think of summer, etc. This is from Tula. This is their Protecting Glow Probiotics and Superfoods SPF. It has SPF 30 in it. And to be honest with you, I am so bad at using my SPF every day, which is why I want to put this in this project. I've used this quite a bit actually, but it's still like, even like when I squeeze it, there must be some air still inside because it makes it seem like I still have none of this left. This is a really glowy product, so if you don't like a glowy primer, SPF, moisturizer, whatever it might be, this definitely wouldn't be for you. I personally don't mind a glow. I don't think I would repurchase this. This isn't my favorite SPF. I like it. It smells like a tropical vacation. Like it smells like vacation, but I purchased this pretty much right when this released. I believe this released last year and this expires for 2021, so April of this year. So I would really like to just use this before it expires because obviously when it expires it won't really serve a purpose for me anymore. Not something I would repurchase, so it would be nice to move this out of my collection. For the indie makeup product, so I want to test out lots of eyeshadow on my palette, or on my channel this year. I have my Panlos eyeshadows, and I have other projects that variously I have shadows that I'm working on. And I have a shadow that plus a palette that I'm including as well in this video. So I didn't necessarily want to choose another indie eyeshadow palette. I wanted to work on something not eyeshadow focused, and I don't have a ton of indie makeup other than eyeshadow palettes. I had some blushes from Odenseye, but I was like, no, not panning a blush. So I'm actually going with this very new product to my collection. This is from Vesca, and this is their highlighter in Moonlight, which is a really, really beautiful, just like soft champagne shade. I have really enjoyed this formula thus far. It looks almost like a peachy, yellowy champagne shade swatched, but on the cheeks, you can sheer this out to be just this really beautiful natural glow, or you can build this up to be somewhat intense. It's not going to be a super blinding highlight like the Ofra highlights, but because the texture of the powder is so thin, it really just melts into the skin and gives the most beautiful luminosity to the cheeks. So I've been a big fan of this. My goal is going to be to hit pan on this. I'm not sure how deep the pan is. Again, this is very new to my collection. I picked this up right at the very, very, very end of December. But I was going between this and the bronzer, and I feel like I'll have an easier time hitting pan on this than the bronzer. So I'm really excited to be working on this. This is something that I would repurchase if I were to go through this whole pan of highlight. I don't foresee myself finishing the whole pan of highlighter, but I am hopeful that I can hit pan within a few months. Okay, the prompt that was really hard was a product inspired by your favorite panner, because I have so many favorite panners. Like, I couldn't really choose a favorite. So I decided to go with the second person that I ever watched a project pan video from, and it is Kelly Gooch. It was Lisa Stevens and Kelly Gooch that inspired me to start my first project pan, and I still to this day religiously catch every single project pan update that Kelly does. So I thought that this would be, or I thought that she would be a good person to choose, but there are so many people that I love who project pan, who are doing this project, etc. So this was really tough. I decided for this prompt to go with the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. I bought this off of Kelly Gooch's recommendation. She always raves about this primer. She's almost done with her primer, with her high adherence silicone primer. So when I think of this primer, when I look at this primer, I instantly think of Kelly, so I thought that this would be a good one. I've used this quite a bit as well, but there must be quite a bit of air in this too, because when I squeeze it from the bottom, it like still comes right out, but I know I've used quite a bit of this. So I will weigh all these products, and I will do my best to try and leave an accurate tally mark, but it might be a little bit until we get truly accurate tallies, because on both of these, I definitely feel a lot of air pockets. Okay, for the prompt, a palette that matches my shirt. I had a tough time with this. Again, I just have like a pastel AC/DC like crew neck hoodie on. And so it's like, we're just gonna get into what I chose. I chose the Menagerie Pastel Pup palette. I recently got this. This also would have worked for an indie brand for that prompt. But my shirt is very pastel. So I thought it fit the theme, if you will. And this is a 12 pan eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. I've used this I think twice now. I played around a lot with the blues and purples. My goal for this is going to be to use each shadow in this palette at least 2 times. I was gonna say 1 or 3. We're gonna go with 2 times each. So I want to use each pan of eyeshadow in this palette a minimum of 2 times. I got this idea from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. I watched your introduction this morning, and when you set your goal for that Natasha palette, I was like, that's such a good idea. Rather than just giving myself a goal to like reach for this palette 10 times, I like the idea of making sure that I use every single shade in the palette. So the goal will be to use each pan in this palette 2 times minimum. And then the final prompt was a pop culture item, and I also really struggled with this. I was like, well, I don't even know what items throughout my collection I feel like are eligible. In fact, I even went on my phone and I Googled pop culture makeup, and then I got this Teen Vogue article that said the best pop culture inspired eyeshadow palettes. So For this, it pulled up the Frozen Anna and Elsa palettes from ColourPop, and I was like, oh, I depotted a shade from each of those. I think each of those palettes, I depotted one shade and then I decluttered them. So the shades from those two palettes, I have this one right here, I think was from the Anna palette, and then this shade right here is from the Elsa palette. And I'm going to try to hit pan on this shade right here. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I actually have a decent dip already going on this. In fact, I was prepping a different video today and gathering all eyeshadow panned palettes in my collection, and I was looking at this and I looked at this shade specifically and I was like, oh, I feel like I could hit pan on that relatively quickly. So let me swatch this shade for you guys. It's just this really beautiful, like light pink with a little bit of like a greenish, light greenish shift to it. It's super pretty, really neutral. I feel like I could pair this with a lot of looks that I could feel comfortable wearing to work. So my goal is going to be to hit pan on this shade. I'm actually also working on this, which shade is it? No, this shade right here in my project pan. So I'm already reaching into this Z palette. May as well just add that eyeshadow pan on top of it. So that is going to be it for this update. I am so excited to continue on with this project. I think as far as goals for the first, I almost said first semester, like hello Steph. It's been a long time since you've been to school. I definitely feel like if I just gave this a little bit of effort, I could hit pan on this eyeshadow. And then I feel like that might be the goal. I would hope, maybe next update, I hope that I have had one use in each eyeshadow pan in this palette. So maybe I could roll this out in 2 months. That'll be the goal. At least use every shade in this palette one time, pan on the shade from the Elsa palette, and then we'll see about progress on these. I feel like both of these will take me a couple of months, especially since I am panning another primer. This, if I use it like I should every single day, it shouldn't take me that long. And then I feel like it'll be a little bit till I'm able to roll out the Vesca highlight, but I'm very excited to continue to work on this as well. So those are all of the products that I will be working on in this project to begin with. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you are doing this project. The deck, the spreadsheet, the Excel sheet with the information for this project will also be down below, so please join us. The more the merrier, and I'm just so excited about this one. Thank you again to Emily for inviting me to join and just for creating such a fun project. I mean, just so creative, and everything that you've done to put this project together I know was very time consuming. So thank you to Emily, and thank you to anyone who is watching this video and supporting me. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.